And good Monday morning. Can we believe it's the beginning of a new week? April the 7th. We're 4 months into this year. Welcome. Kind of chilly compared to what we've been seeing. It's right now 51. We're only going to get 60 out of that thermometer today. And we had a little dip there of what you would call almost a wind chill earlier. It dipped to 48 for a moment there. Brr. Yeah. Be careful. Don't burn today. We'll make Odie confess why. It's winds. We don't need to burn today. 20-mile-an-hour gusts are expected throughout the day. So let's be careful with those matches. Watch what we're doing. And we've got a lot of talk coming up on the local level beginning at 7 o'clock of the bad weather that we had. And I'll say this before we get there, as we often bring it, well, this storm's a level 2, this one's a 3, and we had the ultimate, the level 5. Well, at 5, we really didn't get much from it locally. Give us a 2. Homes destroyed in Kemper County. Lost a life to our friends in Jasper County. We'll talk about all that coming up at 7 o'clock as we'll do a big local show. I hope you'll join us for that also. But watch those numbers. When there's a threat of a tornado, it can be very, very seriously. Good morning to WMOX Radio joining us. We do hope their morning is going well also. Lots to talk about what's going on nationwide. A lot of protesters here and there complaining about this, that, and the other. I don't know if I could work at the White House. I think every president we've ever had, there's a group out front every day that doesn't like you.
Yeah.
I'd have to have a group to remove them, but I guess you can't do that, can you? You have to let them just stand there and yell all day. There's somebody mad about something every second of the day. Oh, Abe, I can't remember how he put it, but you can't please all the people all the time. What is it? You can please some? Well, you know where I'm going with that. We'll be right back as we'll get this day underway. We need a good word. Let's go talk to Brother Ben and let him give us a message.
A few years back, the great R&B artist Usher released an album, and the opening track was an absolute banger in the club. Can't Stop, Won't Stop was the name of it. We won't get into the lyrics of the song, but that title really sticks out to me. Can't stop, won't stop. You know, people bring that kind of mentality into lots of areas of their life, their family, their jobs, their workouts, their hobbies. It's a never give up mindset. I'm not going to give up. I can't stop. I won't stop. But according to the Holy Spirit through Apostle Paul, there's one particular area of our lives that we should especially be intentional to bring that can't stop, won't stop mindset into, and that's our prayer life. He calls us in the Bible to pray without ceasing. That means don't ever stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Now, at first glance, one might think, you mean God wants me voicing prayers all day long? I've got other stuff to do. No, that's not what the Holy Spirit means here. When He commands us to pray without ceasing, He's calling us to live in a continual state of communication and connection with God. It's having a heart that's always tuned in to talk to Him, ready to listen, ready to respond at every moment. A person who prays without ceasing is constantly aware of God's presence, frequently lifts up prayers to God, and lives dependently on Him moment by moment, not just in times of crisis. Really, praying without ceasing is more about the relationship through prayer than the ritual of prayer. It's like walking in a close friendship with God rather than calling on Him every now and then. Beloved, for those of us who are in Christ, this is the kind of life we're to live, and what a privilege it is. Prayer should be like breathing. I can't stop breathing or I'll die. Therefore, I'm going to do everything in my power to not stop. Same thing with prayer. Therefore, I'm going to pray without ceasing. Can't stop, won't stop, and you shouldn't either. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. I do hope you enjoyed that message this morning. On the way, we'll look at your forecast. Get that.
A few years back, the great R&B artist Usher.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button again, didn't I? We got your forecast up and coming. That'll be right around the corner as we get this underway today. Nice day in store for us. Let's look at a few headlines that are shaping America as we begin. I had to listen to this, I think, 4 times. Somewhere right around 4 times to make sure I heard what I heard. Does that make sense? Sometimes you misinterpret someone. This guy here is Minnesota police chief, and he is giving a press conference on someone who keyed a Telsa. Now, let's all be straight about this. Whether you like someone or not, if you take a key, an object, or a nail and you go down the side of someone's car, you are the suspect. You did the damage, whether you like them, whatever your reason was, you tore up someone else's property. He continuously during this said the suspect was the victim here because nationwide people are calling out people for what they believe in. We really have a problem in leadership across America when this happens. And this is not the only person that's made statements like this that you scratch your head and go, what did you miss? Because I saw the same thing you did. But the police chief basically said the person who did the crime was the victim. That's not the case. At the end of the day, before the judge, the person had to pay for the damage done to the car. Still doesn't make it right, and by no means were they a victim. It's called man up. If you make a mistake like that, say you done it. What so many are learning about tells us is, well, they record video with the car the entire time when it's parked. You don't go near their car. It's constantly recording what's happening around it. Mortgage rates have gone down. 6.6% is what we're looking at for a 30-year rate. Not the greatest, but it has dropped just a teeny bit there if you're keeping up with that. Let's see here. What happens when officials get you to not tell the truth or bend the truth? Is that a better way to do it? And I'll read this. And I hope I can say it's right. Here's the headline. And this is the guy that was dealing with the border crisis during Biden's administration. His name was Aaron Hike. He said that the border chief with the experience spanning 5 administrations confirmed that the Biden-Harris administration directed him to suppress, hide, and alter data related to the border crisis. He claims he was instructed to intentionally reduce detention capacity across the country while simultaneously issuing new Social Security numbers to undocumented immigrants. Did y'all hear that? This is where people were sneaking into the United States. He had the president telling him not to tell the real numbers and to go ahead and give them Social Security numbers. Now, if you get a Social Security card, you are entitled to Social Security benefits, correct? Yeah. They were giving your money to people who have never worked in the United States nor paid the first tax. And we wonder how senior citizens and vets make it on only that. The money is running out. We're giving it to other people that, well, it's not theirs. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a president that would fix that? I don't care who you are. One day, if you live old enough, you will need that Social Security benefits. And we need a fighter. We need someone that's there to make sure that you got your check. So who is the happiest city? It was CNBC that done this. The happiest city poll in America. Plano, Texas made it to the top of the list, followed by Arlington, Virginia. Is Arlington really a happy place? I don't know. Raleigh, North Carolina, Seattle, Washington, San Jose, Boise, Idaho made the top 10 list. Fremont, California, Lincoln, Nebraska, Durham, North Carolina, and boy, this is way out there, Anchorage, Alaska. Happy cities in the United States. Not one city from. Well, wait a minute. Let me back up on that. I was going to say nothing from the South, but Raleigh, sort of, kinda, maybe still considered the South. Maybe that was a top 10 list of happiest cities. Meridian did not make that list. We're working on it though. We're trying to smile there. I'll read you this one. This comes from Twitter. Of the headline this morning. Colorado House Democrats. Now, I'm not telling you this is law. It's just they passed this, and then it will go probably to the Senate side of Colorado. Colorado House Democrats just passed a bill that makes misgendering a discriminatory act. Can take children away from parents who misgender and pushes all schools to promote trans ideology. Everybody get that? Saying that if a parent does not allow a child to change their pronoun, the parents could be arrested, basically.
Jail's gonna be full.
Colorado is the place to be. There's a lot of nonsense in this word. Tesla. Thank you, Gail. Tesla. Did I say it? Did I say the word Tesla a while ago?
No.
T-E-S-L-A is Tesla, correct?
Tesla. With a S, not a Z.
Tesla.
Yeah.
But Tez is, he just needs a new name for that company, so I can say it. Tez, I say T-E-S with a Z, I guess. I don't know,
Yeah.
Tez. It's not Tess.
But you're getting better.
Man alive.
Well over one.
Do they have models that I could go just that? The truck. The Elon truck. Let's see. So far, and again, I have no clue how this will turn out. And let me be honest about this. I do not. I know that everybody in America is worried about tariffs. What's going to happen? Are things going to go up? I couldn't tell you how many countries we've put tariffs against either. I have no clue. So far, what they're telling us is that 50 countries have reached out to Trump to try to reach a deal with him. Now, the big ones, we really need to work it out. We do have problems. All this began in World War II as a way to help countries getting back on their feet. It's gotten out of hand to where America gets the short end of the stick now. We've got a president trying to fix it. Will it blow up in his face? I don't know that. There's a lot that think it will. There's others that think it will work out. His plans have worked in other areas, and let's hope it does in this. None of us want to pay more. That's without a doubt. At the end of the day, we need manufacturing back in the U.S. of A., giving you jobs. Each of you. Can you imagine getting up and having a choice to pick a job? Not so much anymore. There's one job and 200 people show up for that one. You know that's true. A good job. I almost don't even want to read this. But deep within our schools, we have people that I don't know, I guess in my mind, and y'all work with me on this, as a teacher, it's supposed to be someone that you look up to, someone that's kind of a pillar of the community. And I always had that vision of little house on the prairie of the teacher. Very good for the community. And then I flip on Twitter or any type news media, and I see what's really going on in America, where we had a teacher filming himself/herself in a classroom doing a drag dance. A teacher in the school. I mean, it's obvious that it's a man, but it has with a cloak. I don't even know how to go there. Can I say it has bulges like a woman would? Is that a good point? A teacher, seriously. Teachers are there to teach and educate children, not put your ideas in children's mind. They're at a very, very young age, and they need someone who's there for their benefit. What was that song? We need a hero.
Yeah.
We do. Someone to take over the education department statewide. Each state handled this. Well, here's something that is just saddening to this. Who doesn't love watching rodeo? It's the last great American sport where no one tries to be something they're not. The cowboys, they get in there for 8 seconds. They try it. Cowgirls can do it as well. Barrel racing. People take their hat off there. I have yet to go to a rodeo when an American flag doesn't come out, that the hats don't come off and respect is given. We lost a youngster this weekend, a minor, bull riding. He was gored. We pass along condolences to that. That's no, actually he was 24. I read that wrong. I was thinking he was real young, but he was 24. Lost his life to bull riding. That's tough there. Measles. Didn't we all get shots for that when we were little?
Yeah.
Seems. I don't know if that's the one that left the mark on your arm,
Yeah.
but I got that down at the Lauderdale County office there when I was a little kid. I remember going and getting that. Second child in Texas has died from measles. I don't know where this is coming from, but we're hearing the word measles outbreak in several places, but 2 children have died in Texas over this in the last little bit. Let's see what else we got going on this morning. Several injured after a minivan drove into a crowd in L.A. I'd like to tell you that it was an accident. I don't think I can. And that's another thing. How often we saw that in New Orleans, how people can be out for a good time, a break from work or whatever it is, and then people go against them trying to hurt them. Man alive. Chris, good morning there. And Bravo may have worded it there, unvaccinated. That may be it. Okay, Shine tells me that those little holes in my arm was smallpox shots. I got it, though. It left a mark. It won't come off.
No.
It's been there for 50-plus years now. I need a job like Phil Bryant. Now, I got to say, that's funny. I don't care who you are. What becomes of all that, I don't know. Careful how you vote is the best I can say with that. As we go to Philadelphia, PA, not Philadelphia, Mississippi, but Philadelphia, PA, 4 of them, there's not many left, got back together this weekend on the stage. It would be the Fonz, Richie, Potsy, and what was the one that sang all the time? The dark-headed fella.
Yeah.
They did a little reunion. They done a show and sold tickets for people to come see them. It was a good show, or at least the first 5 seasons or so before they got into musicals and it got really bad. That's what happens when you switch writers that don't know what they're doing. But overall, Happy Days was a good show, but they all got back together. Potsy, was that his name?
No, we already said him.
Okay. Ralph Malph. Ralph Malph was the other one. Yeah. Whew, have mercy. Amtrak train has struck 3 in a family on the tracks in Bucks County. Oh, that's horrible as we look at that. Pennsylvania is where that happened. Trains are nothing to mess with. 3 people in a family were killed. I've never thought about this or didn't know that this was an issue as there a Republican is saying or trying to push something called She Drives Act, to where they're saying cars are not tested for women, that all crash dummies are men. And you know, that does kind of sound funny there, crash dummy man. But what they're saying is that all crashes are done around men, and that more ladies die in auto accidents because cars are not tested for them. Is that true? I would think that...
I thought a test dummy was
Test dummies.
non-binary.
Yeah, there was just but they're saying it's based upon men and not women, that women basically are smaller frame and they get hurt easier, and that the test dummies are made to be more like a man. I honestly did not know that was such a thing, if that is even true, but that is a headline that is out there across America this morning. You'd have to actually talk to an expert. An airbag can hurt anybody. They come out quick. They're there for a good cause, but they can hurt.
Women sit closer to the steering wheel.
Yeah, if you sit too close, it will do that. I don't know the answer to that, how you could fix that other than doing away with an airbag in the steering wheel. But does it benefit?
Brakes and pedals.
We do have adjustable brakes and pedals. I got confused first time that happened. Had my knee in my chin. I didn't know you could hit that little button and push it back. Y'all know that. Whoa, we have somebody who's going to plead guilty. Do y'all remember Justice Kavanaugh? Yeah. Y'all remember him? He's the guy that had that diary that kept up with every day of his life. The only human that I've ever heard of that done that. The man has pleaded guilty for having a gun and a knife with a plan to assassinate him. He won't be getting out anytime soon, I wouldn't think. Somebody else has added their name to a court case against Sean Combs. Some call him Puff Daddy. Another person is getting in the ring and accusing him of another crime, sex crime, that is. Who is this guy? Ponzi scheme. Are y'all familiar with that?
Yeah, Social Security.
Social Security is what Ponzi schemes. A con man. He defrauded over 200 people. He's going to jail for 18 years. He stole $24 million from Americans, and it was most likely their savings. We see that a lot.
Another Bernie Madoff.
Yeah, another Bernie. And we got to admit, Bernie was from Mississippi. That was huge over in Jackson area. Y'all remember that?
No, Bernie was one in New York.
No, all right, well, who was the one in Mississippi that done the same thing?
That was
You know who I'm
that
talking
big
about?
company.
What was the company in Mississippi where the guy was? Enron. What was his name?
I don't remember.
But you're right. Bernie was from. But we had a Mississippian that done that, and I had in my head that's who that was. It'll come to us in a minute there what his name was. I have no idea if there's a connection here, but regardless of whether there's a medical reason or not, it's just, sometimes how 2 or 3 people end up working at the same place, have babies at the same time. They go, what's in the water? We go to a Massachusetts hospital. 5 nurses on the same floor have been diagnosed with brain tumors. I don't know if there's a connection. The name of the company was WorldCom, and I will think of his name in a minute. WorldCom. Still a huge building over there. WorldCom, whatever his name was. Made off with your money. Chris is really on it this morning. Good line. We'll figure out what his name was. WorldCom. We'll Google that. We're coming back with your forecast in just a moment to get this day underway. That's a few of the headlines. We've got a whole lot more that we'll throw in coming up at the top of the hour also. Your forecast is next this morning.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Today's record highs and record lows. Y'all remember 1955? It was a warm day, 88. Doubt there's many of us around that remember 1891, but it was cold. It was 28 today on that date as we look at it in history. Our forecast for today in the Meridian area, as I get it stopped, 61 here. Slight chance of rain early, 20% chance, fading away quickly there. High 60 to 61 as we get to Columbus. It'll stay at 60. Down the river to Natchez, it should stay at 59. As we go east, it'll be 59 from here to Tuscaloosa. Somewhere around Birmingham, a little bit cooler there at 57. Montgomery stays steady at 61 today also. We should see normal weather for a few days as we look at this, above average temperatures in West Texas as we look to our 7-day forecast. Now, here's what we've got. Today, a 64 high, down to 41. That sounds chilly, doesn't it? We'll reach a little bit warmer tomorrow, 68 on Tuesday, with a low of 40. Then temperatures start to climb back up again. 72 by Wednesday, and by Friday, we're 78, 70. Over the weekend, look at this, 71. It'll be great grass cutting weather. 71, 0% chance of rain. We've got a lot of events that will be happening Saturday. Boy, y'all be ready for all that. As we get to April the 21st, let's go all the way there, and it's going to get warm within 2 weeks. 87 on the 14th as we make it mid-month, and we'll stay in the 80s all the way through the 21st. Almost makes you, well, that's good weather. We don't want it any higher than 87 or 88, do we? Best times to fish today, it looks like it will be somewhere around 8 o'clock this morning through about 10 o'clock. Perfect time to go. You'll have a minor chance this afternoon around 2 o'clock. You can go from 2 to 3. Sunrise has already happened at 6:34. I see it rising through the trees outside. Sunset will happen this afternoon at 7:19. Now, here's what the bad news is for today. Northwest wind 5 to 15 with gusts of up to 20 miles an hour, which means, well, we don't need that. Don't do any burning. We want everything to be safe. Make sure not to burn today. Let's take a look at radar this morning of what we've got. Turn that off so you can see here as we pull up radar this morning. Here's what we've got. We're showing some light shower activity over around Jackson, south of Vicksburg, Natchez, Macomb area. All clear across Newton County, Lauderdale County, Kemper, Neshoba. All these areas here are clear. Out to our east, Montgomery still got some rain there. Y'all be careful there around Auburn as well. But that's the outlook across the state of Mississippi there. Nothing bad. A little bit up here in Jackson, Tennessee, they've got a frost advisory this morning. Cooler weather there. And then even back over here near Oklahoma City, freeze warning. Y'all let them know it's April over there in Arkansas. That's a quick look at our weather. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back at the top of the hour, and we'll go live with the morning show. Won't you join us? It's right around the corner. Get your coffee. Maybe it's a biscuit you got to have to put up with us. Whatever the case is, join us back. We'll see you in just a moment here from the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.